Section 6, Combination Vehicles. This section covers driving combination vehicles safely, combination vehicle air brakes, anti-lock brake systems, coupling and uncoupling, inspecting a combination vehicle. This section provides information needed to pass the test for combination vehicles, tractor-trailer, doubles, triples, straight truck with trailer. The information is only to give you the minimum knowledge needed for driving common combination vehicles. You should also study Section 7 if you need to pass the test for doubles and triples. Driving combination vehicles safely. Combination vehicles are usually heavier, longer, and require more driving skill than single commercial vehicles. This means that drivers of combination vehicles need more knowledge and skill than drivers of single vehicles. In this section, we talk about some important safety factors that apply specifically to combination vehicles. Rollover risks. More than half of truck driver deaths in crashes are the result of truck rollovers. When more cargo is piled up in a truck, the center of gravity moves higher up from the road. The truck becomes easier to turn over. Fully loaded rigs are 10 times more likely to roll over in a crash than empty rigs. The following two things will help you prevent rollover. Keep the cargo as close to the ground as possible and drive slowly around turns. Keeping cargo low is even more important in combination vehicles than in straight trucks. Also keep the load centered on your rig. If the load is to one side so it makes a trailer lean, a rollover is more likely. Make sure your cargo is centered and spread out as much as possible. Cargo distribution is covered in Section 3 of this manual. Rollovers happen when you turn too fast. Drive slowly around corners, on ramps, and off ramps. Avoid quick lane changes, especially when fully loaded. Steer gently. Trucks with trailers have a dangerous crack the whip effect. When you make a quick lane change, the crack the whip effect can turn the trailer over. There are many accidents where only the trailer has overturned. Rearward amplification causes the crack the whip effect. Figure 6.1 shows 8 types of combination vehicles and the rearward amplification each has in a quick lane change. Rigs with the least crack the whip effect are shown at the top and those with the most at the bottom. Rearward amplification of 2.0 in the chart means that the rear trailer is twice as likely to turn over as the tractor. You can see that triples have a rearward amplification of 3.5. This means you can roll the last trailer of triples 3.5 times as easily as a 5-axle tractor trailer. See figure 6.1, that would be this. Steer gently and smoothly when you are pulling trailers. If you make a sudden movement with your steering wheel, your trailer could tip over. Follow far enough behind the other vehicles, at least 1 second for each 10 feet of your vehicle length, plus another second if going over 40 miles per hour. Look far enough down the road to avoid being surprised and having to make a sudden lane change. At night, drive slowly enough to see obstacles with your headlights before it is too late to change lanes or stop gently. Slow down to a safe speed before going into a turn. Brake early. Control your speed whether fully loaded or empty. Large combination vehicles take longer to stop when they are empty than when they are fully loaded. When lightly loaded, the very stiff suspension springs and strong brakes give poor traction and make it very easy to lock up the wheels. Your trailer can swing out and strike other vehicles. Your tractor can jackknife very quickly. You also must be very careful about driving bobtail tractors, tractors without semi-trailers. Tests have shown that bobtails can be very hard to stop smoothly. It takes them longer to stop than a tractor semi-trailer loaded to maximum gross weight. In any combination rig, allow lots of following distance and look far ahead so you can brake early. Don't be caught by surprise and have to make a panic stop. Okay, influence of size and weight variables on the stability and control properties of heavy trucks. University of Michigan Transportation Research Institute. 6.1.4 Railroad highway crossings. Railroad highway crossings can also cause problems, particularly when pulling trailers with low underneath clearance. These trailers can get stuck on raised crossings. Low-slung units, lowboy, car carrier, moving van, possum belly livestock trailer, single-axle tractor pulling a long trailer with its landing gear set to accommodate a tandem axle tractor. If for any reason you get stuck on the tracks, get out of the vehicle and away from the tracks. Check signposts or signal housing at the crossing for emergency notification information. Call 911 or other emergency number. Give the location of the crossing using all identifiable landmarks, especially the DOT number if posted. Prevent trailer skids. When the wheels of a trailer lock up, the trailer will tend to swing around. This is more likely to happen when the trailer is empty or lightly loaded. This type of jackknife is often called a trailer jackknife. See figure 6.2, which is this. The procedure for stopping a trailer skid is: recognize the skid. The earliest and best way to recognize that the trailer has started to skid is by seeing it in your mirrors. Anytime you apply the brakes hard, check the mirrors to make sure the trailer is staying where it should be. Once the trailer swings out of your lane, it's very difficult to prevent a jackknife. Stop using the brake. Release the brakes to get traction back. Do not use the trailer handbrake, if you have one, to straighten out the rig. This is the wrong thing to do since the brakes on the trailer wheels caused the skid in the first place. Once the trailer wheels grip the road again, the trailer will start to follow the tractor and straighten out. Turn wide. When a vehicle goes around a corner, the rear wheels follow a different path than the front wheels. This is called off-tracking or cheating. Figure 6.3 shows how off-tracking causes the path followed by a tractor to be wider than the rig itself. Longer vehicles will off-track more. The rear wheels of the powered unit, truck or tractor, will off-track some, and the rear wheels of the trailer will off-track even more. If there is more than one trailer, the rear wheels of the last trailer will off-track the most. Steer the front end wide enough around a corner so the rear end does not run over the curb. pedestrians, etc. However, keep the rear of your vehicle close to the curb. This will stop other drivers from passing you on the right. If you cannot complete your turn without entering another traffic lane, turn wide as you complete the turn. This is better than swinging wide to the left before starting the turn because it will keep other drivers from passing you on the right. Alright, maximum width of swept path. Path followed by the innermost tire. Path followed by the outside tractor tire. So this shaded area is all the spots that the truck hits. Okay, the jug handle is incorrect and the button hook is the correct way to turn. Backing with a trailer. Backing with a trailer. When backing a car, straight, truck, or bus, you turn the top of the steering wheel in the direction you want to go. When backing a trailer, you turn the steering wheel in the opposite direction. Once the trailer starts to turn, you must turn the wheel the other way to follow the trailer. Whenever you back up with a trailer, try to position your vehicle, so you can back in a straight line. If you must back on a curved path, back to the driver's side so you can see. Turn wheel this way to make trailer go right. Turn wheel this way to make trailer go left. Okay, this is figure 6.5. Look at your path. Look at your line of travel before you begin. Get out and walk around the vehicle. Check your clearance to the sides and overhead in and near the path of your vehicle. Use mirrors on both sides. Check the outside mirrors on both sides frequently. Get out of the vehicle and re-inspect your path if you are unsure. Back slowly. This will let you make corrections before you get too far off course. Correct drift immediately. As soon as you see the trailer getting off the proper path, correct it by turning the top of the steering wheel in the direction of the drift. Pull forward. When backing a trailer, make pull-ups to reposition your vehicle as needed. Subsection 6.1. Test your knowledge. Number 1. What two things are important to prevent rollover? 2. When you turn suddenly while pulling doubles, which trailer is most likely to turn over? 3. Why should you not use the trailer handbrake to straighten out a jackknifing trailer? 4. What is off-tracking? 5. When you back a trailer, you should position your vehicle so you can back in a curved path to the driver's side. True or false? 6. What type of trailers can get stuck on railroad highway crossings? These questions may be on your test. If you can't answer them all, reread subsection 6.1. 6.2. Combination vehicle air brakes. You should study section 5, air brakes, before reading this. In combination vehicles, the braking system has parts to control the trailer brakes. In addition to the parts described in section 5, these parts are described below. Trailer hand valve. The trailer hand valve, also called the trolley valve or Johnson bar, works the trailer brakes. The trailer hand valve should be used only to test the trailer brakes. Do not use it in driving because of the danger of making the trailer skid. The foot brake sends air to all of the brakes on the vehicle, including the trailers. There is much less danger of causing a skid or jackknife when using just the foot brake. Never use the hand valve for parking because all the air might leak out. Unlocking the brakes in trailers that don't have spring brakes. Always use the parking brakes when parking. If the trailer does not have spring brakes, use wheel chocks to keep the trailer from moving. Tractor protection valve. The tractor protection valve keeps air in the tractor or truck brake system should the trailer break away or develop a bad leak. The tractor protection valve is controlled by the trailer air supply. Control valve in the cab. The control valve allows you to open and shut the tractor protection valve. The tractor protection valve will close automatically if air pressure is low, in the range of 20 to 45 psi. When the tractor protection valve closes, it stops any air from going out of the tractor. It also lets the air out of the trailer emergency line. This causes the trailer emergency brakes to come on, with possible loss of control. Emergency brakes are covered later. Trailer air supply control. The trailer air supply control on newer vehicles is a red 8-sided knob which you use to control the tractor protection valve. You push it in to supply the trailer with air and pull it out to shut the air off and put on the trailer emergency brakes. The valve will pop out, thus closing the tractor protection valve when the air pressure drops into the range of 20 to 45 psi, pounds per square inch. Tractor protection valve controls, or emergency valves, in older vehicles may not operate automatically. There may be a lever rather than a knob. The normal position is used for pulling a trailer. The emergency position is used to shut the air off and put on the trailer emergency brakes. Trailer air lines. Every combination vehicle has two air lines, the service line and the emergency line. They run between each vehicle, tractor or trailer, trailer to dolly, dolly to second trailer, etc. Service air line. The service line, also called the control line or signal line, carries air which is controlled by the foot brake or the trailer hand brake. Depending on how hard you press the foot brake or hand valve, the pressure in the service line will similarly change. The service line is connected to relay valves. These valves allow the trailer brakes to be applied more quickly than would otherwise be possible. Service air line. The service line, also called the control line or signal line, carries air which is controlled by the foot brake or the trailer hand brake, depending on how hard you press the foot brake or hand valve. The pressure in the service line will similarly change. The service line is connected to relay valves. These valves allow the trailer brakes to be applied more quickly than would otherwise be possible. Emergency air line. The emergency line, also called the supply line, has two purposes. First, it supplies air to the trailer air tanks. Second, the emergency line controls the emergency brakes on combination vehicles. Loss of air pressure in the emergency line causes the trailer emergency brakes to come on. The pressure loss could be caused by a trailer breaking loose, thus tearing apart the emergency air hose, or it could be caused by a hose, metal tubing, or other part breaking, letting the air out. When the emergency line loses pressure, it also causes the tractor protection valve to close. The air supply knob will pop out. Emergency lines are often coated with the color red. Red hose, red couplers, or other parts to keep from getting them mixed up with the blue service line. Hose couplers. Glad hands. Glad hands are coupling devices used to connect the service and emergency air lines from the truck or tractor to the trailer. The couplers have a rubber seal which prevents air from escaping. Clean the couplers and rubber seals before connection is made. When connecting the glad hands, press the two seals together with the couplers at a 90-degree angle to each other. A turn of the glad hand attached to the hose will join and lock the couplers. When coupling, make sure to couple the proper glad hands together. To help avoid mistakes, colors are sometimes used. Blue is used for the service lines and red for the emergency supply lines. Sometimes metal tags are attached to the lines with the words service and emergency stamped on them. See figure 6.6, which is this. If you do cross the air lines, supply air will be sent to the service line instead of going to charge the trailer air tanks. Air will not be available to release the trailer spring brakes, parking brakes. If the spring brakes don't release when you push the trailer air supply control, check the airline connectors. If the spring brakes don't release when you push the trailer air supply control, check the airline connections. Older trailers do not have spring brakes. If the air supply in the trailer air tank has leaked away, there will be no emergency brakes and the trailer wheels will turn freely. If you cross the air lines, you could drive away, but you wouldn't have trailer brakes. If you cross the air lines, you could drive away, but you wouldn't have trailer brakes. This would be very dangerous. Always test the trailer brakes before driving with the hand valve or by pulling the air supply. Tractor protection valve control. Pull gently against them in a low gear to make sure the brakes work. Some vehicles have dead end or dummy couplers to which the hoses may be attached when they are not in use. This will prevent water and dirt from getting into the coupler and the air lines. Use the dummy couplers when the air lines are not connected to a trailer. If there are no dummy couplers, the glad hands can sometimes be locked together, depending on the couplings. It is very important to keep the air supply clean. Trailer air tanks. Each trailer and converter dolly has one or more air tanks. They are filled by the emergency supply line from the tractor. They provide the air pressure used to operate trailer brakes. Air pressure is sent from the air tanks to the brakes by relay valves. The pressure in the service line tells how much pressure the relay valves should send to the trailer brakes. The pressure in the service line is controlled by the brake pedal and the trailer handbrake. It is important that you don't let water and oil build up in the air tanks. If you do, the brakes may not work correctly. Each tank has a drain valve on it, and you should drain each tank every day. If your tanks have automatic drains, they will keep most moisture out, but you should still open the drains to make sure. Shutoff valves. Shutoff valves, also called cutout cocks, are used in the service and supply air lines at the back of trailers used to tow other trailers. These valves permit closing the air lines off when another trailer is not being towed. You must check that all shutoff valves are in the open position except the ones at the back of the last trailer, which must be closed. Trailer service, parking, and emergency brakes. Newer trailers have spring brakes just like trucks and truck tractors. However, converter dollies and trailers built before 1975 are not required to have spring brakes. Those that do not have spring brakes have emergency brakes, which work from the air stored in the trailer air tank. The emergency brakes come on whenever air pressure in the emergency line is lost. These trailers have no parking brake. The emergency brakes come on whenever the air supply knob is pulled out or the trailer is disconnected. A major leak in the emergency line will cause the tractor protection valve to close and the trailer emergency brakes to come on. But the brakes will hold only as long as there is air pressure in the trailer air tank. Eventually the air will leak away and then there will be no brakes. Therefore, it is very important for safety that you use wheel chocks when you park trailers without spring brakes. You may not notice a major leak in the service line until you try to put the brakes on. Then the air loss from the leak will lower the air tank pressure quickly. If it goes low enough, the trailer emergency brakes will come on. Subsection 6.2, test your knowledge. Number 1. Why should you not use the trailer hand valve while driving? 2. Describe what the trailer air supply control does. 3. Describe what the service line is for. 4. What is the emergency air line for? 5. Why should you use chocks when parking a trailer without spring brakes? 6. What are shutoff valves? These questions may be on your test. If you can't answer them all, reread subsection 6.2.